Well, folks, Bob Ferguson's priority gun control bill, Senate Bill 5098, was placed in the Senate Rules Committee late last week, and this bill could move very quickly. We're asking every gun owner who watches this video to hit the link below and send your pre-written email to your senator and state rep right away. Aaron Dorr here, guys, with Washington Gun Rights. You may remember we killed this bill last session. It passed the Senate. I want to say it was 30-19. I think we had 2 Dems that crossed over and were no votes. And from there, it went to the House, went to the Appropriations Committee. And right about the end of the Approps Committee, there was a disagreement between House and Senate Democrats over the nature of the language of the bill. And that disagreement, plus about 500,000 emails from WGR members like you guys, stalled the bill out as session wound up. But it stalled it. It didn't kill it. And now this bill is definitely going to come back. So here's what the bill actually does. In a nutshell, it creates an infinite number of new gun-free zones, heavy sarcasm intended, gun-free zones across the state. I'll read this section to you. It's a little bit lengthy, but I want you guys to feel the weight of what this bill would do here in Washington state. It says cities, towns, counties, and other municipalities shall designate the park facilities within its boundaries where children are likely to be present and post appropriate signage at common access points of the facility's premise to notify the public that weapons are prohibited within the park facility. And then from there, it breaks down what they consider to be areas where children are likely to be present. It says facilities where children are likely to be present include, but are not limited to, playgrounds, children's play areas, sports fields, swim beaches, water play areas, teen centers, community centers, performing arts centers, skate parks, and other recreational facilities likely to be used by children or by youth. So guns would be off limits in all of those places I just read off under Senate Bill 5098. They would also be off limits. Section number 2 says the premise of any state or local public building. And it goes on at length to describe what a public building is. Basically, any building that is owned by, rented by, or occasionally used by state or local officials is now considered a public building and is off limits to gun owners in Washington state. The third area this applies to is the premise. It says the premises of a county fair and county fair facilities during the hours of operation in which the fair is open to the public. It goes on to describe the definition of what a county fair is. So in a nutshell, almost every place a parent like you and me want to take our children would now be a so-called gun-free zone. You know, the place where almost 100% of mass shootings take place in this country. So of course, to the commies in Olympia, it makes perfect sense to disarm us in these places and give leftist violent predators the ability to attack law-abiding citizens who can no longer defend themselves. Now, we're being asked a lot about this. I'm going to address this issue head on. At the moment, there is a carve-out for those with a concealed pistol license for the moment. But first of all, we're still in the committee process. Anything could change at any moment in that committee process. And secondly, even if that carve-out remains, this is a trap to get current gun owners to remain quiet. We have seen this before. Grandfather clauses and other exceptions are always bullshit. And the left always expands gun control once their initial framework is in law. It's happened time and time again. So you and I can bet the first time something happens in one of these new gun-free zones because some thug shot up a park or something, the first time that happens, the left's response will not be to say we should remove these stupid policies. No, they're going to say we didn't go far enough in 2026. Now we have to remove the exception and make it a complete and utter ban for gun owners. The impact of this bill is going to be a disaster, just like all the rest of the gun control laws we have on the books are a disaster. Good people can't fight back. Predators can attack at whim. It's all part of the old Jay Inslee, now Bob Ferguson war on the Second Amendment here in Washington state. The good news, if there's any good news, is we stopped this bill before. And this is a very, very short session this year in Olympia. And I believe we can stop this bill again, but it requires a tremendous amount of pressure from gun owners across the state. There's 3 or 4 ways you can help us out. Number 1, hit the link below, like I said, and send your pre-written email into the legislature right away. If you can, number 2, chip in $20 afterwards to help us get more gun owners involved in this fight. Number 3 is share this video on social media so we get more people involved. We have this on X, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. Wherever you're watching this, share it on your own platforms. And finally, get involved as a member today. Go to joinwgr.com or the full website, washingtongunrights.org. Guys, these commies are never going to quit. There's never going to be an end to the attacks on our gun rights, and there's always more freedom we can lose. We've got to stand right now and make all the noise we can. Help us hold the line, guys. Take action right away, and we'll keep you informed.